We're gonna pull it out here and put a transmission in it shortly, and it's going back to my niece. Panther, Kit Kat. It went whoom. Now looks like we got fuel pressure. Keys on, and let's see what it starts. It's also about 15 degrees cooler. I don't know if I said that. Oh, it's cold. All right, good morning, everybody. The old truck here. We're gonna pull it out here and put a transmission in it shortly, and it's going back to my niece. She wanted it back. I got a set of tires sitting back here. Can you locate two more? But let's see what else I need to bring on back to get her going out of the hole here. It's sitting here for a couple of years, and it's been sitting off the road since 2019 or something like that. At least the spec says 2019. But I did rob parts off of it. My brother did that. Yeah. There's a couple screws he missed in the cow. Yeah. To get it to come on. So obviously it does need a wiper motor. But that don't matter if we're getting out of the back here. What we need to do if we're getting out here is, one, maybe actually install a solenoid, because that's a little janky. Two, something seems to be missing. The battery, that's it. No, radiator. We stole it for my dump truck. So luckily I got one, an exact replacement for this. That'll go right on in. I do got to loop the tranny lines to get it out of here, because kind of saws all them off, if I'm not mistaken. I needed them for the dump truck to make them work. So I got to crawl underneath there, cut them again probably in a better location, and loop them back. Another thing we did steal off of it is the starter, but I have a brand new one for it. And let's see, that should be good. Nothing sitting up in there. That'll still work. That's good. So let's see, I need to grab the battery, solenoid, need to get the radiator, some fluids, lower belt, got one of them too, and the other tires, and then we'll see if she wants to come to life here and drive on out of the grave. I'm probably going to bring a few gallons of gas with me, because it's probably pretty low. So I'll see y'all in a few. If this was NASCAR, I'd be the last car. All right. Panther, Kit Kat. Have you been keeping the mice away from the trucks? Have you? Huh? I think you need to do a little bit better job. No, mice around here you got to get shop keys. All right. Got the radiator in. I looped the transmission lines. I did put the starter in already. We're gonna add coolant and see if we find any leaks. Typically, if I put water in first, never a leak. But if I use coolant, there's gonna be a leak. I'm using coolant. That's all I got. So I'll put this in, and then I'm gonna run out back, grab some fresh water, top it off with fresh water. And I do got a 50-50, well, straight concentrate on mix 50-50. But I'm hoping this is enough. Hey Johnny, I hooked on the wrong line.
Jim, you hooked it on the wrong line.
Yeah, I was supposed to put down the bottom one. Why'd you let me do that?
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh. Alright, I know what you're talking about. That never happened. Anyway, guaranteed no leaks if you use water. So we're using straight coolant first. Because I need a jug to get fresh water. Alright, I'm gonna go back at water, but before that, just to let you know, I'm not changing the, not putting the solenoid in yet. We're just gonna put a battery in and we'll see if she wants to crank over. And while we are here, I don't even know what this oil looks like. Yeah, that's oil. Smells like good oil. Good dark used oil. Don't smell gassy like me. Alright, got the coolant all put into the transmission. Coolant in the transmission. Coolant in the radiator. We're gonna check the transmission. The transmission. Had an Hungarian neighbor named Attila.
So he's Italian.
Twisted. The Italian. I mean, that fluid looks good, but you can see that blackness. Clutch material looks like that. Oh, this transmission is questionable. That's why we're going to wind up changing it here. But it does move. Part of the issue was actually it wasn't going into park. It was just free rolling. Even in park. Anyway, let's keep it rolling. We're just going to put a battery in it. And we're going to see what she does. Oh, I did got 5 gallons. Rephrase that. 4 gallons of gas. Up in the garage. Picked it up the other day for somebody, but I chose not to give it to him for good reasons. And then we'll put some gas in here and see if she runs. We're gonna see if it runs without the gas first, because you never know. Size I'm looking for ain't got. Don't help, these terminals are worn down to nothing on this battery. Sometimes you can flip them over because they are tapered. Get a little bit more out of it. No need to clean the terminals. It'll run. It'll be fine. It don't matter. None of this matters. I get it going the right way. Okay. Okay. Let me reach across to hit the ignition. Well, the fuel pump cranked over. Let's do it right here. See if she wants to live for us. It's not the wire I'm looking for. This wire I'm looking for. The battery sounds just a little weak. Let's give it a little help.
A little bit more help.
Just a little. Not too much. Ooh. if she comes back for us.
She loves this stuff.
Johnny, you get to run up and get me another battery. We got a new kit. We got a new battery in here. This one's better terminals. A whole lot better terminals. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad connection here, but they might not be the best. They're all just kind of bolted together. But whatever. You want over there? Quiet, quiet. Pretty sure I still hear the fuel pump. See what it is? Fire in a hole. This battery is not much better, Johnny. She no fire. Oh, you do that.
Hey, maybe if you had the key on.
Wasn't all the way forward.
Forward?
Yeah, can we just do this here while I'm here?
I hear shit clicking.
Now, we know we got oil pressure. It's all lubed up, ready to fire. Well, the vacuum actuator works.
Well, that's good.
Oh, hey, we got the screws out of the IAC too. Why are they out of there? Okay, now with that tightened back up, let's see if it idles. One more time and then I want to check something. Let's look right down here at the trigger valve. See if we got any fuel pressure. Nope, no fuel pressure. Alright, here, let me hold this camera. Go turn the key off and then wait a second and turn it back on.
On.
Let me go smack on the tank. On. Turn it off. On. Do it again.
On.
Yeah, that pump's not really sounding that great. Do it again.
Off.
Yeah, pump really don't sound great. Okay. So the rear tank, the pump goes. You may have heard it in the previous clip there. Don't know if it picked it up or not. I had this truck. I bought this truck over 10 years ago, back in like 2012, I'm gonna say, somewhere around there. And I always used the rear tank. I never pushed that button to switch to the front tank. Well, today I said, you know what? Since the rear tank seems to be not working now, I switched it to the front, turned the key on, and the front pump actually went. We're like, huh? That don't sound like fuel. So we added fuel. It went. Now looks like we got fuel pressure.
And it stinks.
Oh, that stinks. Get some of that old shit out of the line there. Well, nothing else to do now than to see if it actually starts without brake cleaner. Alright, I'll help.
A little bit.
Maybe, hold on. It's going. I ain't gonna do it. Come on, you can do it. Give it a second. I get in. Well, I didn't want to backfire. We're back out here. I got some ATF. I got the lines connected. Made me wonder why, you know, my little loop there, you know, didn't make an effect. Would never work because the lines are out there. Anyway, stole parts, putting stuff back together. We'll figure it all out, you know, as time goes. But I'm ready to start it again, and we just put about 2.5 quarts in. We're gonna see how much more it needs in order to move. Keys on, and let's see what it starts. It's also about 15 degrees cooler. I don't know if I said that. Oh, it's cold. I'm gonna check for leaks. All right, truck's in the garage. Saw it come out about back, and I had it on the road for a day. I just started up, brought it in here. I'll insert a clip of a little cold start, you know, this morning. Cold start. I wanted to go pull it in. Didn't have the little GoPro, but use my crappy phone, so the image ain't gonna be the best. But there's a couple things I want to do here first before going any too far in this thing. I can't stand the mess. You know, critters, they like getting in everywhere. There's a bunch of leaves all over the place because, you know, I left the hood open. It's not like it would have closed all the way because of the cow being all messed up. But we got to clean all this dirt out. So I got the vacuum out. I'm going to clean out the heater housing area where the fan goes, because I got a new fan to put in there. Stole this one, you know, so this was I was robbing a bunch of parts off this for a while. Anyway, I got a new one to put in there, so that takes care of that. Funny, when we started it, the blend door actuator actually started functioning immediately, which is sweet because that means the vacuum lines are all good still. Yeah, I got a lot of cleaning to do, and I'm gonna get it all vacuumed out because we don't want rust anywhere and rot. So we're gonna get it all out of in there and up in there, like you see back there. Got a new one to put on, obviously. And then I'll get the truck in the air, and I'll bring you underneath the truck with me, and we'll give it a good examination underneath. And we'll talk more underneath when we get there. All right, got it all cleaned out in the cowl area, and decided to put it up on the lift. Look underneath this old girl. And I mean, the body's pretty decent still. That's nothing too bad to worry about. We obviously seen a lot worse here. But yeah, the rest of it looks pretty good. All right, let me take that back. It's gonna need some work. Okay, moving on. How's the other side? Yeah, they need some work. Hey, this did have them stupid steps on it one time. I forgot all about them. Bought this truck many years ago. I think it was back in like 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. You know, then after I had it for a few years, gave it to my brother, and then gave it to my niece. Now she's gonna get it back because I got it back off of her. Somehow it ended up in my uncle's possession. But anyway, long story short, she's getting it back. We're fixing it up. But she was running and driving this, and I remember them hearing that it did work to it. So I'm like, oh, the front end will be all good. I grabbed the tire and hold on. Oh, let's see if I can do this one hand. Let me just do this. No, not that one. This one here. Well, that's no good. And I know it does it up here too. Let me see if I can do it. Well, I'm gonna have to get my buddy here to help me with that one. Alright, I'm just gonna call it here. Alright, we got tranny cooler lines over there. We got muffler parts over there. Hacked to bit pieces of muffler there. That needs to get figured out. How we're gonna make a 2-to-1 without buying a, you know, probably a $20 part on Amazon, but I'm cheap. It ain't happening. We're gonna make it work. It's just gonna be a single pipe then. Probably gonna go like 3-inch, go up and over, dumping out. And then also with that, we are putting all new brake lines on it. We got the nickel copper brake lines, this way they don't rot. Even though the truck's going down south, still don't want it to rot. Moisture will do anything. Even though it looks a little too shiny, I double checked. It is nickel on the inside. It's not just straight copper. It's copper nickel brake line. Even comes with the fittings. Anywho, new starter solenoid, because the ones that they sell at the parts store are junk. But if you go on Amazon, you can find something that's actually pretty decent. Don't buy the cheap regular ones. Get one that's like for an old tractor, because you only need one post to feed it. You know, your 12 volts in here, triggers your solenoid, passes through. Heavy duty, in my opinion, feels very good, works very good. I use it on my hot rod there. Anyway, front right brake lines, rear brake line, and then the simple tools to do. I do not use that fancy tool that you bolt into a vise and you gotta press this, press that, flip this, do that, or that handheld one, put this in, flip that, turn this, do that. No, slide it over, clamp it down, easy enough. Spin this on, clear it out. Bada bing, bada boom, whatever. And I got a fancy pipe bender, tubing bender. So I'm gonna get some of this old brake line cut out of here. Where are we at here? And some of this old crap taken out. Get the old lines out. All of it up there. We got our distribution block, or whatever you want to call it. You know, where front lines go, shuttle valve thing. It's weird that, well, I find it weird that it goes to the one side and then crosses over, whatever. But we're gonna get that all out of here. So I'm pretty sure I'm doing brakes before I'm gonna do the exhaust, because after I get the exhaust on, you know I'm gonna want to drive it. And be nice to have some brakes. It has a little bit right now, but you know, we're just gonna get it fixed up. I just don't trust this stuff or what's gonna be, you know, going with this truck. Wow, that's pretty flat. Yeah. All right. Well, oh yeah, also gonna get prepared to do an oil change, because the oil's dark and it'll smell bad, but who knows how long it's been in there. So we'll get that drained out of there, get a new filter put on it, and continue from there. Anywho's, see you shortly. All right, we're back out here in the garage. Truck's up here on the lift. Got a few things done already. Got some nice new brake lines ran up in here. Got the copper nickel in there, new rubber lines. Scoop around here. All new going across. I don't know why people complain about doing brake lines. It's not that hard. It's kind of simple actually. It's just plumbing. But anyway, got the exhaust all put together. My custom 2-in-1 to a 3-inch exhaust. Pretty good. My cousin cut this pipe so many times when he was taking a cat out of this a few years back that I had to stitch a little bit of it back together. It's fine, don't worry about it. One thing I do know is this truck has some issues. It was definitely worked on by some Votech kids. Well, one, know that because my niece went to Votech and I know the truck was worked on, but you can really tell it because I had to replace this caliper. The bottom pin was left out of it, so the caliper was popped out. It ate half of the caliper away. I'll see if I can insert the pictures from before I pulled it apart. So I got a new caliper, took brake pads off the donor truck because what the hell, why not? Obviously put a new brake line in, new brake line. Gonna cut this one out, run new, new ran to the top, gotta go across. But there's the first thing. All right, caliper's all messed up. Second thing, I went to go drain the oil. Plug came out all funnier than all hell. I got it out here. Somewhere might be my plug or in my pocket. Anyway, half the threads are gone on the plug there, so had to go down and buy me a replacement plug. But also the oil was thicker than molasses. I don't know if it was straight 50 weight they put in here or freaking gear oil, god dang. But that's all drained out, new filter in it. So I'm hoping a little bit of valve chatter I heard goes away with actual oil flowing through it. Another thing is, I don't know how this truck was ever stopping. The rear axle seals were leaking so bad. You can actually see some of the gunk here still from, well, that's actually a dead spider. Covered in grease. From the axle seals were leaking so bad that inside the drums were all coated. I'll put some pictures in here also. And long story short, we're going to be rebuilding the brakes in the rear along with putting new axle seals in it and clean everything up. It's just on to put it back together now. I cleaned it up for now so I can actually get it in and out of the garage. Excuse me there. Another thing that we know was messed up was my uncle had a suspicion that someone drained the torque converter and never filled it, because once again he knew it was being worked on at Tech Kids also. We pulled the plug out and there's no oil in it. I think maybe not even a quarter of a cup came out of this thing. So I got one over there from the donor truck. We're gonna put that up in here. But for now, since the exhaust is all done and I need to finish that one brake line up there, I think I'm gonna lower it down, put my new brake line on, add the oil. Very important step right there. Add the oil, because it's empty right now. And I'll set the camera up and we're gonna give it a test fire and see how this beautiful straight pipe exhaust works. Now, I would love to do true dual out the back, but honestly it needs a thicker pipe in my opinion. Like I did my 83. Maybe I'll see if I can put a picture up of that too. I don't think the video's out yet with the exhaust and the final motor going together. Which granted, things are out of order because I started recording a bunch of stuff and then started making videos. So I have filler content. But anyway, I'm gonna get this on the ground and put some oil in it. See you in a few.